Hello, dear colleagues. My name is Al Mohammed, and today we have an incidental aneurysm of the right posterior communicating artery, which we have treated with stent-assisted coiling. The size of the aneurysm was 5 by 6 millimeters. It was a female patient, 64 years old, non-smoker. She has an arterial hypertension and progressive headaches and feeling of pressure every day for the past 6 years. For the treatment, we've used an HPC-coated stent, Pegasus, 4.5 millimeters by 25 millimeters. And for the coiling, we've used target coils from Stryker. And the patient was prepared with aspirin and prasugrel and was tested with Verify Now. The results are in the right down corner. And this is the 3D angiogram of the aneurysm. As you can see, it's at the origin of the PCOM. It's lobulated saccular with a relatively wide neck. The plan was to implant the microstent from the PCOM to the ICA retrogradely and to go with the microcatheter through the stent struts in the aneurysm sac and to coil the aneurysm sac after that. And here is the 2D angiogram, and the plan is to implant the microstent as mentioned and go with the microcatheter through the stent struts and coil the aneurysm sac. And here we go. We push the long sheath Neuron Max with the select catheter in the short femoral sheath. Configuring the sidewinder catheter is easy, and here we're navigating the right common carotid artery. And now we are at the bifurcation of the ICA, and now we are inside the ICA. We inject a little bit contrast agent to prove that there is no occlusion of the ICA. And here we take the intermediate catheter, Sophia 5F, 125 centimeters, and push it in the Neuron Max long sheath. And now we're navigating the distal parts of the right ICA. And now we need an overview to see the anatomy and the aneurysm. And here you can see the aneurysm on the right side at the origin of the right PCOM. We push the intermediate catheter a little bit distally and perform a 3D angiogram to plan our work position. And here is the 3D angiogram. We zoom a little bit to see the aneurysm. That's it. And now we're preparing the microcatheter and microwire. This is the Excelsior SL10. And we're pushing the microwire inside the Excelsior SL10 microcatheter. And now we shape the tip of the microwire. And now we need to adjust our work position. And now we can inject a little bit contrast agent to see the anatomy and adjust our work position further. And now we can make an angiogram, and this is our work position. Please don't be confused from this branch. It's behind the aneurysm and doesn't have anything to do with the aneurysm sac. This is in blue, the MCA, in green, the ACA, in red, it's the aneurysm, and in orange is the right posterior communicating artery. And we take our angiogram as a roadmap and push the microcatheter with the microwire into the intermediate catheter to navigate the aneurysm. Okay, for orientation, this is the tip of the microwire. In blue and red, we have the tip of the microcatheter, and in green, we have the tip of the intermediate catheter. And now we will try to navigate the right posterior communicating artery. We should be here very careful. And this is here the aneurysm. We're almost about to navigate the PCOM. And now we are inside the PCOM. We push the microcatheter distally in the PCOM and pull the microwire back. And this is here the microstent, Pegasus HPC coated. We took the biggest one, 4.5 by 25 millimeters, so that we can compensate the difference between the diameter of the PCOM and the ICA. And for orientation, this is here the material. You can stop the video and see everything. And now we're starting implant the microstent. We pull it a little bit back with the microcatheter so that we have a good basis in the ICA. We don't need that much distally in the PCOM. And now we are unsheathing, and so we have unsheathed the stent completely and implanted the stent. And now we will try to navigate the aneurysm sac with the help of the pusher of the microstent. We put the tip of the microcatheter at the neck of the aneurysm, and in red we have the distal end of the pusher of the stent. We pull it back, and then we push it in the aneurysm sac, and then we bring the microcatheter tip in the aneurysm sac. Now is the pusher in the aneurysm sac, and we push the microcatheter tip in the aneurysm sac. And now we can start the coiling. We perform always as a standard short angiogram to see that there's no extravasation or other complications. And as you can see, everything is all right. And now we take our first coil. It's from Target, 360, 5 millimeters by 30 centimeters, and push it in the microcatheter. And we're approaching the aneurysm, and now we need to pull the microcatheter a little bit back to remove the tension from our system. We don't need the end of the coil to go in the lumen of the artery. That's why we will push and pull and try to get a good position and form of the coil. And as you can see, now we are in the aneurysm sac, and there is nothing in the lumen of the vessel. And so we can detach the coil with the in-zone device. And now we pull the pusher and take the next coil. And now it's a little bit easier because we have the framing coil in the aneurysm sac. This is here a 2D angiogram, and as you can see, there is a very small loop of the coil in the lumen of the ICA, and we will correct it later. And now we continue the coiling. The list and the order of the coils is at the beginning of this video, and now we can detach this third coil, and this is the fourth one. Detach, and we take the fifth one. And now we need to correct the shape and the position of the small coil loop by bringing the tip of the microcatheter at the loop and push the coil into this loop to push it in the packet of the coils. And now we've corrected the shape and need the last loop of the coil to go inside the aneurysm sac. And now we are inside the aneurysm sac. And as you can see, we've corrected the position of this coil loop. And this is here a comparison before and after the correction of the position of this loop. And now we can detach the last coil, and with the help of the pusher of this coil, we will pull the microcatheter back and remove it. And now we need an angiogram to prove our results. And as you can see, the aneurysm is completely occluded. And now we need an overview to see that everything is okay in the MCA and the ACA. And as you can see, there's no complications or something like that. And here we have a comparison left before and right after the coil embolization. And after correcting the pixel shift, you can see that the aneurysm is completely occluded. And so we have reached the end of our intervention. As always, if you have any questions, you can put them down in the comments below. And you can contact us with emails to email addresses, and further contact options are in the video description below. Thanks for watching. That was Al Muhammad. See you next time. Peace out.